The first time Israelis and Palestinians held direct peace talks was at the Oslo negotiations in 1993. Signed in Washington, the Oslo Accords spoke of ending decades of conflict and paving the way for a two-state solution.
Today, the leadership of Israel and the Palestine Liberation Organization will sign a declaration of principles on interim Palestinian self-government. It charts a course toward reconciliation.
But the Oslo Accords were only partially implemented. Then in July of 2000, there were the Camp David talks, which centered on issues including borders, Jerusalem, and refugees. Both sides, however, could not reach an agreement, and what followed was the Second Palestinian Intifada, or uprising. In 2002, Arab nations led by Saudi Arabia introduced the Arab Peace Initiative. The plan called for Israel to withdraw to the 1967 borders and the establishment of a Palestinian state in the West Bank and Gaza Strip.
So my call to the Israeli people is the same call that His Royal Highness has said to them today. If you want genuine peace, you must respond in kind. Genuine peace will not come out of the muzzles of guns. It will come from the hearts and minds.
The plan, however, failed to materialize for its inability to address the main points of disagreement. A year later, the US, Russia, the European Union, and the UN, also known as the Quartet, unveiled the roadmap for peace. It set a detailed timetable for a final comprehensive settlement of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict by 2005.
This is a hopeful and promising moment for both Palestinians and Israelis. They both deserve the full support of the international community.
But that timetable was not met. The last attempt to reach a deal was initiated by US President Barack Obama in 2009 and again in 2013. A key component of the talks was putting a partial freeze on Israel's illegal settlements.
All the parties involved have to take seriously obligations that they previously agreed to. There is no reason why we should not seize this opportunity.
The negotiations subsequently failed to persuade either side in resuming talks. And now in 2019, Trump's son-in-law and senior White House advisor Jared Kushner will unveil his long-awaited so-called deal of the century.
This has been stuck for, a long time. There hasn't been a lot of fresh ideas. There hasn't been any breakthroughs in a long time. And the reality is that the situation is getting more and more untenable. I think what we'll put forward is a framework that I think is realistic. It's based on, it's executionable, it's executable, and it's something that I do think, will lead to both sides being much better off.